So today we begin a series of talks which will last 6 weeks, plus sessions then where we will go to questions regarding the talks that have been given. And these talks are on the topic of aligning oneself with their true self. And many people are out of order with what is true to them and what they think they should do. And this will be demonstrated with examples given in our talk a little bit later. As many people chase their external satisfactions or even what they should do, when in truth they need to be aligned with who they are first. If the alignment is not true, then all that they do will feel ungenuine, will not feel correct for them, and will not align their heart. This too will be covered in our talk in a little while. Too many people are lost on the path of doing when they have not established who they really are. Now, understanding your true self is a process. For some, it begins with wise words, and they follow the path of mind. And as they say, they are a logical. Within a period of time, that logic changes to heart, and one starts to feel. And the feelings for one who is very logical can become quite alien and disjointed and not authentic. But there is always that call to feeling. The logical mind may resist the feelings that one is feeling deep inside their being. Now, this is a call to authenticity, to truth, away from what does not serve you to what is truly the sense of self within your being, often referred to as a light, a glimmer, a feeling of knowing something else. And people teach or even chase their inner light, their truth of self, their being. And if you are looking inwards and finding what is true for you, then your sense of alignment, your sense of self, your happiness, your joy, your authenticity, and your purpose all becomes known to you. This is not known with the logic of the mind, because we are standing beyond the mind. The logic of reason will turn your head in one way, but will not allow you to take steps beyond what is rational and what is thought. So one has to take the step across that boundary and find what is truly underneath, beyond, in the stillness of being. So the balance of today's talk is a nice flow of where this alignment is, how to see it, how to keep yourself on purpose towards it. And because it is a nice flow, I wish to take the healing list of names a little earlier than normal. So may I have the names now, please?
Yes. Stephanie B, Susanna G, Joe F, Tony, Jagger, Ross, Anne and Kathleen, Amanda K, Alex, Ross, Karen, Rob, Brett, Susie, Aiden, Abby, Eric, Cecil, Meg, Lily, Amanda L., Chris and Howard, Mike, Livy, Deborah, Jody, Mr. G, Charlotte and Darren Johnston, Alex McDougall, Anne, Jeanette, Matsuki Kai, Keiko, Dave, Liz and Evan, Julie and Todd, Kate, Antonio and family, Kim, the recent tornado victims, Cynthia, Jamie, Monica and family, Mirabai, Marianne, Jody, Andy, John, Carol, Eric, Stephen, Matthew, Deborah, Audrey, Jane, Monica, Griffin, Robert, and Daniel. Thank you.
To the body, the soul is the true self. To the soul, the spirit is the true self. The ego is the pretend self that the soul endures while it is in the physical world. And the ego then attaches itself to all things and creates a false identity, thinking it is this or it is that. And the ego then, chasing satisfaction and recognition for who it thinks it is, requests or demands or chases anything which will give it greater satisfaction. Now, you could say anything that is aligned with the satisfactions of the ego, you could say is, or let us use the phrase, evil selfishness, as it chases all things that it desires beyond any other need. Whereas spiritual selfishness is about aligning to one's true self, allowing spirit to be in soul and soul to be in the physical world, and therefore aligns oneself to the understanding, the realization, and the expression of one's true spiritual quality. Now, all action, you could say, is selfish to some degree. Is it for the ego, or is it for something greater than the physical world? Now, you can see this in a rather simple example. So let us take a young child, maybe a year or two or three. Now, that child sitting on the mat may see another child very close to it. And the first child playing with a toy may look towards another child also playing with a toy, but a different toy. And the first child, seeing the enjoyment that the second child is having, starts to want the toy because he wants the enjoyment that the other child is or seems to be having. And so the first child may become quite grumpy and upset that someone else is having enjoyment and he or she is not. And this first child becomes quite attached to external assets and also thinking those assets are related to enjoyment. And now we have the birth of all satisfaction is external to me. Now, a mother or a father that is observing this may choose to correct this behavior. And as the child grows a little bit older, may provide to the child something that they really enjoy. Let us say it's some food which is the favorite of the child. And the parent would say then, here is your favorite food. Share it with another. Now this child then has a choice to make. If he is aware enough, would look inside and think to himself, well, if I share my favorite food, then if I give 50% away, well, there is 50% less enjoyment for me. And then they become resistant on sharing if that's the trail that they follow. And they may run and hide and eat all the food to themselves. And you can see now a little bit of what we're using, the words we are using, evil selfishness. It is for my needs only, and I must possess. But the child has another choice. And if they are of the sufficient quality, may look at the food given to them and say to themselves, well, if I enjoy this, maybe someone else will enjoy it also. And then they may share the food that is given to them. And the child would then think that when I give 50% away, I get two enjoyments. I get the enjoyment of the taste, and I get the enjoyment of seeing someone else enjoy the taste of this food. And so, although they think they have lost half, in fact, the truth is they have not lost anything at all. They have given, and they have had enjoyment because they have given. Now, the adult could also follow the same path. And they can give not for their or the benefit of another, but give because it makes one feel good. I give to you, I feel good. And of course, the word selfish then becomes very appropriate, although it becomes in true alignment. So if you do not like the word of giving, of sacrifice, you may use the word selfish in the right context and give purely because it makes you feel good. If you were to take this still further, one who's truly aligned would never hold on to anything at all, because everything would be given away. Because everything that one desires, another would enjoy also, and that could be shared to others, and therefore one never loses. It only looks like one is losing. So anything you find precious to yourself should be given away. Now, of course, this is not new philosophy or new understanding. It's perhaps just said in certain words you haven't heard this way before. But you see, with everything within this physical world must remain within the physical world. You do not take anything physical with you when you cross over, when you leave the physical world. So when you come into this physical world, you have the use of something for a limited period of time. You have the use of money for a period of time, but you never own it. You have the use of a certain portion of land. Let us call it 1 acre. How can you own the acre? All that you can do is have the use of it for a period of time, and it must be surrendered or given back whenever your time with it has been done. Your bodily instrument is no different. It belongs to the physical world. You have been given the use of it for your life period. 80 years is the example we always use. It has been given to you by the Creator. You must honor it, but you must also surrender it at the appropriate time. So let us go back to the example of money. You may be a person that has been given the use of money for this lifetime. It may be a lot or it may be not so much, but it has been given to you. And it has been given to you so that you can attain the very basics of life that you may need. And anything over that is superfluous to one's true requirement. So now, with the excess, you have a choice. And your choice is, if you would like me to describe it this way, of providing or generating good karma or bad karma. To being spiritual or evil, using our definition of work. The holding of it for oneself, for one's own enjoyment, or in true alignment of all things above to all things below, and the flow to happen in its right way. And therefore, often you may choose to share money, time, assets of other description with anyone else. And again, if we use the word selfish, this is selfish because it is aligned with what is above you and your own enjoyment in this physical world. There is no compulsion for you to follow a certain path, only the way you look at your path. Do you look and watch your path from the position of ego, and then there is pain and suffering? From the position of soul, this is experience. And if you are in true alignment with what is above, then there is a flow of love and peace and joy into the physical world. So the alignment with enjoyment in the physical world, in truth, is alignment with your spiritual self. If there's not enjoyment or love or peace in the physical world, then there is not alignment. Something is blocking or hindering the true flow. You see, if we take this example still further, what you give away, you will attract. If you give away love, do you not attract more love? If you give away peace, do you not attract more peace in your life? If you try to hold, then others will come to take. And they come to take to remind you that there is another way. Of course, the ego battles all those that want to take from it. But they are taking away all that is not required from you, so you can reveal to yourself that your peace and sense of self is not related to anything in the physical world. So maybe that acre of land needs to be removed from you. But is it an instrument for the expression of the truth of your spiritual self? So the sense of your happiness must be in line with who you are, not what you do and not what you have, but the truth of doing and what you have comes first out of the sense of my spiritual self. So your sense of calling to perhaps have a second acre of land will be disjointed if it's not first within your spiritual self. And so your sense of generosity, of sharing, of giving because it makes me feel good, must be in truth of alignment. Now, this, of course, is not just true for individuals, but it is also true for communities, organizations, and countries. If a particular country becomes very egotistical, then everything is for one's own gain and for fear, or even control or supremacy, where the true alignment is one of caring, sharing, and giving. Think of organizations. Are they in truth aligned with the needs of others, or are they aligned with the needs of self? Now, you can walk or connect with one of these organizations and know where is the alignment. Are you then drawn to organizations or countries or places or people which are truly aligned to the spiritual self as opposed to the evil or egotistical self? And the word evil has many connotations, and we use this quite loosely today. So the experiences that you are having are no more than the correction to show you there is another way. There is other truth. There is other alignment to be had. So if we go back to the child, the instincts, the karmas, and the desires of the child will make it crave something else. And it then becomes sick with desire, having lost sight of its truth, and chases something else. Now, all of this is very unconscious for the child, no or little thought. But it can be very conscious for the parent as they watch. So what are you holding now? When really you should be aligning and finding what is true, and then all the giving becomes just an expression of the flow of energy through the clear diamond. The holding is retention, which is the false, which is the darkness, which is the fault within the diamond. Now, of course, all of this is no more than the play of Maya, the play of illusion, the play of the physical world and the pseudo-ego, the pretense that the world is who and what you are. The spiritual self is always trying to express itself into the physical world. The flow of love and joy must flow into the world, but the blocks hold it back. Your emotional ground, your sense of self, your sense of your true being is primarily for you all. And therefore, you only heal another person by being the true expression of yourself. You heal them because you show them the way to their truth. And you heal them because there is love in yourself. And there is but pain or fear in the other. The fog of their mind, their traumas, their pains, their difficulties is purely a sign that they are not aligned. And yet you are aligned. You must let your truth shine through for your benefit, and you give it to the other for their benefit. When you're aligned, there is no putting one's hand in one's pocket and giving alignment to another. It is rather your truth shines in front of yourself. And your light shining outwards attracts light to come inwards. And the whole of being becomes then a circle. Light in, light out. So are you willing to be spiritually selfish? I say, my work is my truth. My truth is my work. My mission, my purpose is to be that true self. And then what I do because it is no other than the truth. Would this type of person chop and change and be different every 5 minutes? Or would they only be that expression of their truth? Would the ego change every 5 minutes? Of course it would. The ego is another word for change, isn't it? And change is driven by fear. Yet the truth is driven by love. So when you look across the room and you spot another child, another adult playing with toys that you think are glamorous, this is your sign to be aligned with love. And love and knowledge of this love will come together in the true expression. You know when you are not aligned, and you are not in true spiritual selfishness, because there is no peace in your being. No sense of stability, of a straight line from above through you to below. You feel disjointed, unordered. You feel agitation and panic and a craving for something else. You say, I must learn or grow or become something else to find my true alignment. But of course, the work is always inwards. So often we have promoted the qualities of the practice of meditation. There are other practices that may help, but meditation is a very good way of stepping back from the physical world, stepping back from the mental world, stepping back from the emotional world, and stepping back from all that is created into the sense of who you are. To this is the pure sense of freedom. And freedom must naturally come with peace. Because without peace, then there is no true freedom. So your mission, your purpose, an experiment for you to try. Is it true that if I have something that I love, that someone else will love it as well? And if they love it, does that not give me the spiritual selfishness, the happiness for myself, but also the happiness of another person? If you seek peace, give peace to another. If you seek joy, make someone else happy. If you seek respect, spend time with those who are destitute of respect. If you seek freedom, spend time with those locked in cages of either mind or body. And as you give, you become. And as you become, you attract. And then you are aligned with what is above to what is below. So do not chase what you should do, but only who you are. The signposts of your error, of your difficulties, lie right at your feet or the end of your nose. Heal others by being your truth. And let your light be into the world. When you find a organization, a person, or even a country that is unaligned to its truth, its spiritual value, hold the spiritual value for yourself. If you manage to find a person that is truly aligned to their spiritual value, sit in their light. Together or remotely, sit in that light and see if you change. Not with the desire to change, but with the awareness and watch. See what happens to you. One who's truly aligned is a reflection of the very peace that you require inside. And that alignment will connect you to your peace. For the time you are willing to sit together. And you'll notice the changes in your body because the agitation within your body will diminish for that time. And the spiritual connection of another becomes yours. Whether you needed the healing or not, it is given. So if you are agitated, chasing some other value. Come home to us and sit with us for minutes or moments or hours. And let the connection be felt in the wetness of your eyes and the opening of your heart and the broadening of your mind. Feel us forever around you. We are your truth. You but need to come back and sit in that truth for all the time that you need. And over a period of time, you will also then become that light. And you will sit in your light, and others will sit and take some light from you. And others will do from them. And still further, the flow of light will be in the physical world. Let your true being be visible. And give in whichever way you can justify your giving. As this is the alignment to your true self. God bless you all. We will continue next week.